Hi class. One of the key problems within some childcare centers is that a high turnover rate exists among employees. Some childcare centers have many vacant teacher positions at any given time. When I was completing my master's degree, I did a one-year research project on why there is so much staff turnover in the field of early childhood education. While many different types of businesses experience high rates of employee turnover, the rate of turnover in the childcare industry has a direct negative impact on the children enrolled in the center. Parents feel uneasy leaving their children in a center where the staff has been employed only short term. Additionally, many centers operate with unsafe and even illegal teacher-to-child ratios when teachers leave their positions without notice. When centers experience high employee turnover, the children and parents are negatively influenced, but the problem also carries over into the staff. Staff members who work at centers that are understaffed due to high employee turnover feel exhausted from working long hours in an already stressful and physically draining position. The problem is further compounded by the fact that the children need to build lasting relationships with caregivers, but the caregivers are not there long enough to allow a sufficient bond to form. When turnover is high, the quality of the care offered is significantly reduced. Classrooms with high turnover characteristically have less developmentally appropriate environments and activities, and the teaching staff interact in a less sensitive and less appropriate manner with children. The need for quality childcare has increased dramatically during the past 4 decades to more than triple what it was needed in the 1960s. In fact, in 1998, there were approximately 25.6 million mothers in the workforce, as opposed to 8.1 million in 1960. The number continues to grow, and this dramatic increase places a strain on an industry already struggling to find quality, committed employees. Administrators become frustrated, and parents' levels of concern are heightened. Why is this problem allowed to continue? Why has no one stepped forward with a solution? Simply put, the problem is not easily solved. There are many different factors that have created this situation. Some individuals in the industry seem to have given up trying to solve the problem and just accept the turnover as par for the course. Childcare directors report that teachers frequently leave their positions and that centers, both NAEYC, National Association for the Education of Young Children, accredited and non-accredited centers constantly are needing to hire new teachers. While some individuals and organizations previously believed accreditation is a sign of staff longevity, surveys showed that NAEYC accredited centers lost employees at a rate similar to non-accredited centers, nearly 40%. While accreditation is an indicator of quality in some cases, the accreditation process did not adequately address the ongoing problem of turnover. Some states have taken measures to research the rate of turnover in their states in an effort to improve. In 2002, North Carolina anticipated an annual turnover rate of 31%. California, in a study about their teacher retention, found that at the end of a 4-year period, the turnover rate was 75% and 40% for administrators in the same field. When interviewed, childcare center teachers reported that they had worked at several jobs over the past 2 years. Exit interviews and employee files indicated a high turnover rate for many centers. Records of teachers' files indicate that the average term of employment is just 6 months. Documented exit interviews reflect a 40% annual turnover rate at some childcare centers. Studies working to identify connections between accreditation by the National Association for Education of Young Children retention found that childcare centers that earned accreditation from NAEYC started out offering higher wages to teachers displaying high quality care. Nonprofit status, higher wages paid to teachers, and retention of skilled teachers coupled with accreditation predicted high quality. Skilled teachers were more likely to remain if they earned higher than average wages and worked with others who were well trained. Researchers found that wages were the highest predictor of quality in many childcare classrooms. However, high wages were not enough. Centers that pay more can be more selective when hiring teachers. Nonprofit and government-funded childcare programs are more likely to offer high wages. Additionally, many employer-sponsored childcare centers looking for higher quality are able to pay higher wages because the workers' wages were subsidized by the employer. Maintaining teacher satisfaction in childcare centers improves quality of care. Teacher job satisfaction is a predictor of teacher retention, a determinant of teacher commitment, and in turn, a contributor of school effectiveness. Teacher satisfaction reduces attrition, improves job performance, and has a direct positive impact on student outcomes. Teachers who are satisfied in their positions and in their relationships with center management reflect a more positive image toward the parents, children, and coworkers as well. Wow, it actually matters how well staff get along with the director? No big shock there. Many childcare centers experience numerous job openings due to demanding working conditions. Childcare can be physically and emotionally taxing as workers constantly stand, walk, stoop, and lift to attend to the students' interests and needs. Many centers I studied were open over 12 hours a day, making daily work hours vary. On top of that, unscheduled overtime, traffic jams, and other emergencies caused parents to be late picking up children. Therefore, teachers were required to stay longer. Unlike a supermarket, which might occasionally run without adequate employees, childcare centers have a much more serious problem when not adequately staffed. As opposed to standing in a checkout line a little longer, teachers have to stay in their positions regardless of the amount of time they have already put in for the day if there is no one to relieve them. Children simply cannot be left unattended. There are numerous causes that led to the problem of high employee turnover in the field of childcare. Most childcare teachers' salaries are far below the national average wages for public school teachers. Childcare teachers earned an average of 45% less than public school teachers. Some childcare workers lacked support from supervisors and other teachers. Many childcare administrators have transitioned into the management positions without receiving training in the areas of communication and employee management. Center directors expressed a desire to have more training in staff relations and personnel management. Managers should not be expected to successfully lead a team of childcare workers without first receiving proper training. While childcare workers might be satisfied with the field of early childhood education, frustrations with management cause many to vacate their positions. Many childcare workers lacked appropriate teacher training to fulfill their responsibilities. Some center managers have rushed to place workers into positions before completing a full orientation and training to relieve child-to-teacher ratio concerns. The responsibilities and demands placed on childcare workers far outweigh the monetary benefits. The field of early childhood education is physically demanding, bending, stooping, standing, all while receiving pay that is significantly lower than their public school counterparts. A lack of professionalism in the past has been a contributing factor to worker turnover as well. Some employees viewed their position as just a job rather than a career, a position to begin with rather than a position to stay with. Maintaining teacher satisfaction increases the quality of care and retention. One study I researched indicated that teachers were more likely to stay in their position if they received proper training, when centers maintained appropriate teacher-child ratios, and when competitive wages were paid. Another study reported that teachers felt empowerment when involved in the decision-making process, which contributed to teachers being active agents rather than passive workers. Whitebrook and Sakai, some of the most noted researchers related to the field of early childhood education, noted that employee wages affect retention. Teachers who receive higher wages were more likely to remain in their positions, establishing a pay scale and working to pay teachers as much as possible, while still maintaining financial balance, can help reduce the rate at which teachers vacate their positions. Teachers with higher levels of education are more likely to remain in their positions if they work with others of similar educational background and if their wages are higher. By working to employ teachers who are more highly qualified, through education and experience, a culture of higher expectations encourage teachers to stay in their positions. If a teacher is the only teacher with an education degree at a facility, they may feel they should be looking for employment elsewhere and that their education isn't being utilized. No surprise here. A secure and constant management team increases employee stability. Center managers sometimes fail to realize that the importance of a constant management team in the center. While change is occasionally necessary, reducing the amount of management change positively affects staff turnover as a whole. Believe it or not, membership in a professional organization is also an indicator as to who leaves and who stays. When workers take the step to become actively involved in the early childhood professional community, their organizational commitment increases and they are more likely to remain in their positions or in the field of early childhood education. So what does that mean to us? Well, we need to work toward higher wages, higher education, stable administration, and encourage professional connections. Not an easy task, but you can work on what is in your realm of influence. Start by connecting yourself professionally to others in the field by attending professional development meetings and workshops. Have a great week, and please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions.